Good morning, and today is the beginning of the end of this rather short campaign. First thing my adventuring party is going to do is not travel with the heartbeat. They will, however, go back to Dragon's Rest. Oh, their token should already be there, so I guess I don't have to copy and paste them. It should keep update with them, but I don't know, let's see. So, Dragon's Rest. Yep, that's them, with their current HP and everything. They come out and Akumi steps forward. Runar, we did as you asked. Also, we have this talisman, which we fear might be cursed. Runar takes that and says, this is the source of the curse, but we'll have to find more before we can solve it. We'll handle that, though. You don't have to worry about anything else, she says. But you solved our problems already. You figured out what was wrong with the Myconid Gades, and you solved the mystery of the Compass Rose. We're truly the heroes we needed. Come with me now. We will travel to the Temple of Bahamut at the top of the cliff, she says, pointing the temple up here. And they travel up there. They walk there, and as they walk, Nar thanks them again, saying, You're truly the heroes of Dragon's Rest, and you have done more for this island than you may ever know. We are eternally grateful for what you have done, but I have one more thing to ask. Anyway, as soon as they all get there, this happens. Runar smiles as you approach. I have something to show you, she says. There's a flash like a silent stroke of lightning, and the human woman is gone. In her place is an enormous dragon with bronze-colored scales. Now you see me as I truly am, she says, tilting her head with an expression that might be a smile on her scaled face. As you have discovered, this island has many old wounds, and I'm afraid the cycle of silence is starting again. I have one more favor to ask of you. And then she explains that there was a lost wormling that was kidnapped. They lost their way. I was training them here. There's a bronze wormling named Adrian, who came to the island a few months ago and studied with me. 5 days before you arrived, he argued with me, angrily rejecting my teachings of peace, and stormed away from the cloister. I fear he went to the ancient observatory on the southeast side of the island, which is another dragon's final resting place. I suspect some evil has arisen there, but I dare not go there myself, lest my presence reopen old wounds. So here's the Moonstone Key, which she takes between two of her claws, and gingerly hands it to Akumi. Here you are. Thanks, she says, not totally sure about this encounter. But with that, you'll be able to open the observatory on the southern end of the island. Then she transforms back to human, and says, Now get out of here, you bother me. But as they're traveling to get to the observatory, this happens. It's the final encounter while they're moving around. A discordant sound, half a low growl, half a piercing screech, rips through the air. Abruptly, a hulking creature comes into view. A mix of purple feathers and deep brown fur covers its bear-like body, and its large eyes stare hungrily at you from its owlish head. So, it'll be this owlbear showing up, attack them in the middle of the woods. Oh, I never actually went to the overhead map, but, don't know where they are. They traveled back here, and then this happens as they go to the clifftop observatory, traveling overhead, over the land. In this case, I'd probably just mention that there's paths all over, and they give you, and maybe when they go back to Dragon's Rest, they give you, here's a map that takes you for all the secret paths you need to take, or something, like paths you can't see on the map, just to make it pretty easy to get there, but not underground or anything, just because they gotta fight this thing above ground, right? I guess you could do, underground paths if you have a map for that, or whatever. So, just everyone roll for initiative. Same with the Owlbear, and Stony. Akumi, and finally Vernon. Alright, so Akumi would go first. She's probably already why do we have Vernon in the back? Why was she behind us? I'd ask, what's your marching order before starting a battle? But she'll get ahead of him, just be slightly close to the owlbear, and then cast Guiding Bolt. I think. Oh, what else does she have? She also has Shatter. Okay, yeah, she'll cast Shatter, which do 17 damage if it doesn't make its saving throw. In which case it'll do half damage. Yeah, Constitution saving throw. Misses. Takes 17 damage. It roars in pain. Its rage filling it as it rushes forward, attacking Akumi with all 12 of its attacks. Makes one beak and one claw attack. Both of its attacks. Biting. Clawing. The clawing hits for 12 damage. Wow. Which is half her health. Vernon will... he also has Shatter. And consider that when I took it. Oh, Hex, does that do anything at higher levels? Higher levels can cast this spell using 3rd or 4th level. Oh. Yeah, I think he'll use Hex normally. Oh, I clicked on it. Hex and Eldritch Blast. Just do what he normally does. It's just one enemy. I kinda got Shatter for multiple enemies in case. Eldritch Blast. 19 definitely hits. And 6 plus 3 is 9. And I'll roll again for Hex. Plus 3, 12 damage total. Down to 30 health. Oh, owlbears are like angrier versions of normal bears. So if they encounter an owlbear out in the wild, it'll probably attack them if it notices them. But this one is also very hungry, so it's like even more agitated than normal. And it explains in the book that it's actually from a traveling circus or something, but you can decide whether or not to include any information about that. They're fighting the owlbear. If you want, it could just be a normal owlbear. But there's an explanation for why it's here, because this isn't its natural habitat. Anyway, so that was Vernon's turn. Stony will stand next to Kumi and be like, "Get back, I can take it." And Stony, no, just attack it. Maybe we're doing something cool. Oh, missed. Blast! Akumi she'll disengage and get behind. She'll take Stony as a word. Be like, "Alright, you could take him. I'm sure of it." She'll get behind. Well, she'll stand here. She'll head aloft for Vernon. Then the owlbear will attack Stony. Just do twice, bite, and then claw. Neither hit. Okay, cool. Claw does a lot of damage, huh? Anyway, Vernon will Eldritch Blast again. That hits. Eldritch Blast, that's 12 damage plus 15 damage. And then Stony will attack with his longsword. That hits. 9 more damage. And then Akumi will attempt to finish it off. We'll use Sacred Flame. And Owlbear is make a dexterity saving throw. Misses, so it does die. The battle is complete. And then our heroes can continue on to the Clifftide Observatory. So I'll do so there. Ace. Oh, whoops. I already had them. Oh, might as well move the party marker where they are, at least so that I remember where they are. Actually, I know it's kind of a short one, but I think I might stop here. Oh, but I never gave a DM tip for the day, though, so maybe I'll do that now. At the end of the episode. Totally wrong. Once they get here, they're going to take a short rest, too. So Vernon can get his spell slots back. And Akumi can use some hit dice. Though she might, short rest. And hit die. So she heals 7. And Stony will use 5 of his lay on hands to heal her the rest of the way. So 5 just to heal her back up. Everyone should be fully healed for... Oh, except she's still missing a level 2 spell slot. But fully healed otherwise. At least back to max health. Okay. Well, here's some advice about being a passive observer, I guess, because I think the best DMs pretty much act just like passive observers. They don't really interfere too much. They kind of just let the players do what they want, and then they react to that, or they have them roll and then react to whatever those rolls are. When you stop being too passive, you might start doing things like cheating. Maybe I should talk about that too. Well, but, you know, being a passive observer, you know, like, then you don't really care so much about, say, wait, why are these, wait, holy crap. I thought it was weird when I brought them here and, and they weren't too big for the squares for once. Oh, it's because these squares are twice as big as normal squares. Well, let's shrink down to normal size, then. So silly. This map pack is weird, man. Okay, so that's so funny. The hell? He's on the token layer. Why is he shaded like that? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, being a passive observer, like these monsters, they'll find out in a minute. They'll find out next time. Like these winged kobolds are like fighting these sturges, and it's not like you're playing both sides of this fight, right? And they can choose whether or not to interact in the fight or not when they come over the bridge, which I'll activate a bit here. I'll activate next time. It's not like you're picking a side, being like, oh, I really want these sturges to win, so I'm gonna start fudging my rolls or things like that in order to make them win. It's like, nah, just let it play out. That's my advice. I mean, you can do what you want. DMs, lots of DMs do lots of things when they're playing. Lots of DMs have a lot of different techniques, you know. Like I said before, it's a learned craft, so you have to teach it to yourself. But that is something else I wanted to mention. That's about cheating. And as a DM, you are allowed to cheat. It's not really cheating. It's supposed to be like, you know, in order to tell like a better story, or in order to like make it so your level 1 characters or your level 1 PCs who just got made don't die right away. That's usually what I use it for. So I will cheat on dice a little, like for example, when they're like level 1 and level 2, because both of those levels are kind of punishing, especially level 1. Like level 1 is kind of a punishment when you're in level 1 for a while, which is why typically we'll get them out of level 1 fairly quickly. And the adventures do that anyway. Like this one, as soon as they do one dungeon, this is max level 3, but as soon as they do one dungeon, they'll level up. And this dungeon is weighted for a level 3 party. That's mostly what I cheat for, because again, I try to act like a passive observer otherwise, so like, why should I care about what people roll in dice? I mean, when I'm doing a solo play, whatever I roll for the dice stays, right? So I'm not cheating at all. You can check my work if you like. When you're playing, you can fudge your rolls a little bit. Sometimes DMs will fudge their rolls to make something a little more epic, you know, like say when they're fighting the boss at the end. Say he makes his first attack, but he like critically misses. But you're like, actually, he critically hits instead. I mean, that's kind of, like, don't overdo stuff like that. I would say just do it to increase the tension of the fight or something like that, or make it more epic type of thing. Just make it more fun of a fight. But, like, don't do that if you're just trying to kill your players. I mean, you're the DM. You have the power to just say, rocks fall, everyone dies, you know? All your characters are dead now, you know, you can just say that, and it will be true. I mean, everyone will hate you for it and be like, we don't want to play in your game anymore, but you do have that power. So, I mean, like, if you're just trying to kill the party members, like, that's not very fun, in my opinion. I mean, let characters die, especially if they're doing something really dumb. Like, I'm gonna jump off this cliff. You'll die if you jump off that cliff. Like, remind them, don't let them just do things, but unless you were playing like a meat grinder campaign or something. And then they laugh at you, well, it's like, I'm doing it anyway, haha. Like, okay, your character's dead. And make a new character. Then they'll be like, what? I didn't know that would happen. Because oftentimes I feel... this is just my own personal feeling, but I feel like players will never learn anything until something bad happens to them while they're doing it. That's just my opinion. Not all players. Some players get it, but honestly, most don't. At least for especially with new players, you know, they'll try to push the limits as much as they can. And many of them will just be testing your limits, so watch out for that too. Which is why it's important to know when and where to put your foot down, which again is something that you typically have to figure out on your own as you play. Like, what are your limits, you know? Anyway, so I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching, and good night, and good gaming.